exceptionally smooth. The night belongs to Michelob. By Hunt's Manwich. Just brown some ground beef and have a Manwich night. By Elanco Products Company, who bring you Treflan and Sonolan for economical, dependable, full-season wheat control and soybeans. By the Illinois State Lottery. You could capture millions. Play Lotto. And by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there whenever an Illinois family wants to know where they stand with insurance.
And by True Value Hardware. More than just a name, it's their way of doing business.
And welcome to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And 6,874 screaming Pitt fans right here tonight to watch the Big Ten battle the Big East. Dan Rowan, ought to be a great one.
No question about that. Here you have two of the top 11 teams in the country. Illinois ranked number 9 by the Associated Press. Pittsburgh ranked number 11. And Pitt hasn't really played anybody yet this year. Paul Evans is looking forward to getting a barometer for his team under his belt, and that's what this is going to be for him tonight.
Pittsburgh, Dan, has got probably the second best big man in the country, David Robinson being the best, but that's Charles Smith. Playing with somewhat of an injured toe, but I'm sure he's 100% for tonight.
I think right now Charles Smith doesn't have any injury in that toe. He doesn't even feel it at this point. He's going to be guarded tonight by Lowell Hamilton, and that's going to be a very tough matchup for Illinois.
You know, it's interesting. The newspapers here this morning said that the Pitt players are really waiting for a challenge.
Well, they've got one tonight because Illinois has been playing some pretty good basketball, winning the tournament in Hawaii and then kind of coasting by Chicago State the other night. Kenny Norman will be something for them to contend with, too. Norman, one of the best players at power forward. So Smith and Norman, two of the best inside players in the country, and we're looking forward to a great matchup.
You know, this is a small gym. It's a noisy gym. You call it a pit, Dan.
You could definitely call it a pit. They have a 15,000-seat Civic Center here in Pittsburgh, where Lou Henson would have liked to have that game played, but they decided to have it here, and it's a decided home court advantage for Pittsburgh.
We're going to be back with a start of what should be an exciting basketball game for you, Illinois and Pittsburgh. Well, live at Fitzgerald Gymnasium, once again, ladies and gentlemen, and a battle between the Big Ten and the Big East. In fact, Dave Gavitt, who's the commissioner of the Big East Conference, was there to congratulate Curtis Aiken, the captain of the Panthers, as he came out of the court. That's taking it right to the finish, doesn't it, Dan?
I'd say so. Where's Wayne Duke when we need him, huh?
I don't know, but Wayne probably would like to be here, I'm sure. We're going to join the public address announcer for the introduction of the starting lineup. And as we had mentioned before, the officials, and you can see them there listed, Peter Pavia from the Big East. You might wonder why 2 from the Big Ten and not 2 from the Big East, but I'm sure next year when they come to play at Champaign, Dan Ron, that there'll be 2 from the Big East and 1 from the Big Ten.
Yeah, that's the way the contract, Roger. It's kind of interesting, really, to have 2 officials from the opposing conference in here.
It will be a noisy gymnasium. For those of you back in the Midwest, this gym probably resembles McGaw Hall before the remodeling more than any, Dan Ron.
It really does. It looks just like it, only in gold and blue instead of purple.
Right now, we're going to join the public address system for the announcement of the starting lineups.
For Illinois, a 6'4" senior from Highland Park, Michigan, number 21, Glenn Blackwell. For Pitt, a 6-foot senior from Buffalo, New York, number 14, Curtis Aiken. For Illinois, a 5'10" senior from Peoria, Illinois, number 10, Tony Weisinger. And for Pitt, the 6'3" sophomore from Elizabeth, New Jersey, number 11, Mike Goodson. And now the forward for Illinois, a 6'8" senior from Chicago, Illinois, number 33, Ken Norman. For Pitt, the 6'6" sophomore from Akron, Ohio, number 34, Jerome Lane. For Illinois, a 6'4" senior from Peoria, Illinois, number 22, Doug Altenberger. For Pitt, the 6'5" junior from Detroit, Michigan, number 33, Demetrius Gore. 6'7" sophomore from Chicago, Illinois, number 45, Lowell Hamilton. And for Pitt, a 6'10" junior from Bridgeport, Connecticut, number 32, Charles Smith. The Fighting Illini are coached by Lou Henston. And coaching our Pitt Panthers, Paul Evans.
Well, there you have the starting lineups, Dan Rowan, and boy, I'll tell you, there's a little adrenaline moving into this gymnasium right now.
Well, a lot of students are here at this basketball game, and of course, they're the ones that make all the noise.
Once again, the officials, Pete Pavia out of the Big Eastern Conference, William Herzog and Malcolm Hemphill, both from the Big Ten.
Well, the Big Ten's already won one matchup today against the Big East. Purdue beat Connecticut up at Hartford today, 88-70, so let's see if we can make it 2 in a row.
Indiana a winner over Kentucky. Iowa was a big winner in their holiday tournament going on in Iowa City. Wisconsin was a loser today. I think, if my memory is correct, Dan, they're the only Big Ten team to have lost. They lost to Central Michigan.
And a few other games coming up tonight. This one is the highlight game in the Big Ten today. I don't think there's any question about that. This one in the Indiana-Kentucky game. These are the two highest-ranked teams to have met on campus at the University of Pittsburgh.
And we had mentioned at the beginning, Pitt ranked 12th in the Associated Press poll. Illinois ranked 9th in the AP poll. Illinois 3-0 coming into the ball game, and Pittsburgh 2-0. Interesting enough, Paul Evans in his first year here just had a tremendous career at Navy, and of course left the premier big man in the country to come here when he left David Robinson.
Well, Paul thought he wouldn't have year in and year out the opportunity to make it to the Final Four or to have a Final Four caliber basketball team at Navy that he would have here at Pittsburgh simply because of the restrictions of the service academy. But he's a great coach. He proved it last year. He had a great big man in Robinson and has one that may be almost as good in Charles Smith.
And there we have it at the center court. Lowell Hamilton will be jumping against the big guy, Charles Smith, the junior, out of Bridgeport, Connecticut. The tip is up, batted around, and a scramble for the ball, and out of bounds it comes, and it goes to Illinois. It was touched away by Lane, and Blackwell will inbound it. And there you can see the new first-year coach, Paul Evans of Pittsburgh, as his Panthers go on defense and immediately set up in a zone. Blackwell to Weisinger, Altenberger down on the baseline, Norman. Blackwell. So Glenn Beckwell throws it up from about 15 feet away on the near side, and Illinois hits first. Working it over, that's Goodson. Picked up by Weisinger. Down in the corner, went right off of the toe of Demetrius Gore. That's going to be a great matchup right there, Dan Rowan. Demetrius Gore and Doug Altenberger.
Well, Gore, a great one-on-one player, and of course Altenberger, one of the best one-on-one defenders in the whole Big Ten.
Weisinger and Altenberger out in front. Inside, Hamilton has just been fouled from behind by Demetrius Gore. So the ball will go out underneath the Illinois basket to the Illini.
Number 33, Demetrius Gore. His first, team first.
Now they say, let's put it over on the side to toss it in. So Altenberger will do honors. Under to Hamilton. Altenberger, three-point try. Rebound to the big guy, Smith. Here's Goodson. To Gore. Back to Goodson. On the wing to Aiken. Aiken averaging right at 30 points a game. That's Gore underneath to Smith. No. Rebound is taken out underneath and taken away finally out of bounds. And it's going to be Pittsburgh's basketball. I guess it was Blackwell that touched it last.
Looked from here like it rolled off Lane's foot, but good effort by both teams inside going for that loose ball. Charles Smith had the easy one, but he was contested and didn't get it to go in.
Well, they move it around from the side. Aiken has just hit a three-point play, and Pittsburgh back in front. And we have got a storm of paper coming down on the court.
Well, you see that in a few schools across the country after that first hoop. The streamers come out. So we're going to have a momentary delay here while they clear the floor. Aiken is a very small guy for a #2 guard. He's not the point guard, and he's only 6 feet tall, so Blackwell's got about a 5-inch height advantage on him. But you got to get over there quick because he can really launch it, and he can launch it from a long way out.
Well, Lou Henson took a little opportunity there while they were cleaning up the debris to have a short discussion with Altenberger, Weisinger, and Blackwell. And at the far end of the court, Doug Altenberger and Weisinger will bring it down.
I don't think Kenny Norman has touched the ball yet on the Illinois offensive end. Let's see if they can get it down to him here. Smith is playing his zone. It's kind of a matchup out front is what it is.
Weisinger to Blackwell.
Good
Altenberger, three-point try.
Well, two can play that long-range game, huh?
Boy, the score goes up quick when you do it that way. 5-3 Illinois.
It's changing the face of the game this year.
Lane is wide open at the top of the circle, and the rebound taken off by Blackwell of Illinois. To Weisinger. Blackwell. Good turnaround, but he overshoots the basket. Rebound comes out in front into the hands of Aiken. Great move with the ball. No good on the rebound. Lost by Hamilton. The next one, Goodson loses it out of bounds. It goes to Pittsburgh. Well, let's correct that. It goes to Illinois.
Not a slapping going on in there. I thought Norman had been fouled once he got in the first rebound, and it sure looked like Aiken had been fouled there. But Illinois has it and has a chance to go up by, well, we can't say go up by 4 now. It could be 4 or 5 if they can hit another long one here.
Weisinger,
Like that.
Altenberger, underneath. Norman to Hamilton. Tries to get it to Norman, and Norman going for the ball. Came right down over the top of Jerome Lane. Kenny picks up a foul.
Well, I'll tell you, Illinois couldn't have moved the ball much better that time, and Lane just made an outstanding defensive play. Watch him get in front of that lane. He cut the lane off. Norman was streaking toward the basket down the baseline, and Kenny got him from behind. That's a good defensive play.
Pittsburgh got to be credited with some good defense, Stan. You hit it right on the head as the Panthers come back quickly. That's Goodson over the line.
Kendall Gill's on for the Illini now. He's got Aiken in the man-to-man.
Drive down that baseline is missed. The ball goes out of bounds, and let's see. It's going to be...
It hit the basket support before that play was over, and they're going to give it to Pittsburgh.
Aiken will toss it in. So Gill is in replacing Blackwell, and it comes into the corner to Smith. Outside. Goodson, now Aiken has it. Underneath, Lane shot is up, and they're going to get a foul called, and Lou Henson is ecstatic about it.
All right, Lou Henson's right in front of us, and the Big East official just gave it to him. Malcolm Hemphill over here to sort the situation out. Hamilton had made what looked like a pretty clean block, and that was after Kendall Gill almost got knocked off his feet trying to run through a pick.
Let's take a look at it at home, folks.
Here's Lane inside.
He hit his hand on the backboard.
Well, I don't think that wasn't...
He missed him as far as the foul is concerned.
It didn't look like he hit him. And the Big East official very quickly made his presence felt out here.
Lou got the attention of William Herzog.
Well, that's a bench tee and 2 free throws for Lane. Well, he'll get 2 on the shot, and then they're going to get 2 more. So Lane hits the first one. He makes them both. They may keep him up there. Now they're going to shoot Aiken in there to shoot the 2 technicals. Boy, this could be an 8-point play if they make both free throws here. That's 4 already, and then they get the ball out. Illinois will have lost a possession.
Scores tied at 5. Aiken. On the year, Aiken. Yeah, Aiken's a 71% free throw shooter on the year. Misses that one. So now the ball out of bounds to Pittsburgh at midcourt. 6-5 Panthers lead.
That's about as quick a tee as I've ever seen called. You know what? Henson barely got up off the bench, and he was,
I'll tell you, his court court hadn't straightened out yet. Outside is Goodson. Down on the side to Gore. To Goodson in front. Lane has it. They go inside to Smith. No. Rebound taken away by Hamilton, and Lou is really upset because Smith is really shoving underneath, I might say. Alley-oop! Boy, you could see that coming. Kendall Gill really flew in the air and slammed it home.
What a pass and what a play by the freshman. Unbelievable. That T. Mayer fired the Illini up a little bit.
Aiken, three-point play. That's his second of the game, the 7 points.
Glenn Blackwell set to come back in. You got to stay with Aiken. He'll kill you.
Weisinger has the ball slapped away. A little shoving on Aiken. So the ball goes out of bounds at midcourt to Illinois. And Altenberger will put it in play. There you see coming to Weisinger. Inside Hamilton. Corner Altenberger to Weisinger back in front. Underneath, the ball slapped away. Picked up in front. 2-on-1 for Pittsburgh. Under the Aiken. Shot is off. Rebound. Boy, credit Altenberger for some good hustle on the D. Doug, three-point shot. That's his second.
I'll tell you, if you're just joining us, strap in and get ready because you're going to see some kind of a basketball game from here tonight.
The fans might lose their voice. Here is Charlie Smith driving. They don't call a foul. Knocked down our two players, Altenberger and Norman. Well, it's going to be fun in the old Brickyard here tonight. Weisinger, three-point try. Out in front of the rebound at Pittsburgh. Goodson has it. Over on the side, a jumper is around and over the top of the backboard, and it's going to go out of bounds. And there's going to be a timeout at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, with a close ball game in store for you, folks. The Panthers 11, the Fighting Illini 10. And we'll be back with more Fighting Illini basketball after these local messages.
Meet Mr. Nuts and Bolts, the real hardware man, Perry Super Ace.
Just call me Ace. Swinging into your hearts with Ace's billion-dollar celebration. From now till Christmas, save big on thousands of items store-wide. Register to win a Black & Decker workshop in Ace's contest. And don't forget, Champagne Ace is now open Sundays till Christmas. A bargain bonanza for you from Perry Super Ace, high in the hardware sky.
To get the most from your corn crop, you need maximum performance from your corn soil insecticide. That's why top growers depend on Counter with its unique Action 3. Counter controls rootworms, wireworms, and other major corn pests 3 ways. With proven contact, systemic, and residual control. For consistent control and superior performance, put your money where your crop is. Get Counter with Action 3.
11-10, you see the score. Pittsburgh leading by 1, and as Dan Rowan had pointed out, boy, it can be a lot of fireworks before this one is over.
There is some talent on this basketball floor. The Villanova coaches, whom Illinois assistant Mark Coombs sat with at Pitt's last game, thought that Pittsburgh, man for man, had the best starting 5 in the country. They're favored to win the Big East this year, and from what little we've seen so far, it's not hard to understand why they are.
There's a shot from the side, but there's a foul before the shot by Altenberger, and it was on someone underneath, and it was called, appeared to be on Curtis Aiken. That's his second. And it's going to be out of bounds to Illinois.
Well, I think the officials are having a little trouble getting into the flow of the game, Dick. They've been...
Paul Evans just got himself into the flow of the... yelling at the officials.
They've called everything outside and not much inside.
Weisinger trying to penetrate. Puts it underneath the Hamilton. Out of Blackwell. Back out in front. Weisinger.
Quick hands on defense by Pittsburgh. Shot clock at 25. There's Norman.
Norman really being boxed out. Lane pulls up from 15 feet and caught it. They're going to have to spread it up a little bit underneath there, Dan, because Kenny Norman is finding himself in an awkward position. Lowell Hamilton's turnaround is good.
Boy, nice touch. If Hamilton can make that shot, it may open things up a little bit for Norman inside.
Good remark. Down on the side goes Gore. Scoops underneath. The shot is up and in. Jerome Lane slammed it. It'll count. Boy, we'll see a replay of this one.
Check out Jerome Lane. I'll tell you, the pass was as good as the dunk. In midair, he adjusted, and Lane hammered it.
And Blackwell got the foul, his first.
Demetrius Gore on the assist, and Lane has a shot at a three-point play. He almost aired it out.
Rebound comes off to Illinois. That's Weisinger. Loses the ball and a scramble for it. And it comes back into the hands of Lane. He drives, and it's taken right away by Weisinger, and they're going to call a foul on Tony.
Well, Lou Henson's up looking for a travel on that loose ball, but it's not traveling unless the guy tries to make progress toward the basket. And he wasn't trying to do that. He was just trying to control the ball. Here you see the break on the other end. Weisinger trying to knife in there and got a hand on Jerome Lane. Lane's been one of the busiest guys on the floor so far, and he's one of the least heralded of the Pitt players.
Aiken will toss it in. Underneath, they try to go to the alley-oop, and it comes out on the near side. Weisinger has got it for Illinois. Altenberger, three-point try, no. And a follow-up by Doug, and he's going to be charged with a foul.
Yep. That's a shot that Doug's going to make probably 60% of the time. He missed that one, crashed the boards, and picks up.
I was
watching
his feet, Dan, as he released the shot. They were just not squared up to the basket like you like to see. Jens Kuyava is going to come in for Illinois. Down into the corner with the ball, out to Aiken. Underneath there is a foul. It's going to be on Pittsburgh. It's on Lane. We have him for his first.
Kenny Norman and Lane banging each other down in the lane, and this time it goes against Pittsburgh. It's been very physical down deep, and not much has been called, frankly. Most of the fouls have been called out front.
Rod Brooken has checked into the lineup for Pittsburgh, a 6'5" freshman from Steelton, Pennsylvania. Here comes Tony Y with the basketball. It's 15-12 in favor of the Panthers. The clock shows 13 minutes to go in the first half. Under to Kuyava. Look at this, folks. Boy, that's a way to make your presence heard from quickly. Jens Kuyava on a neat little skyhook from in front. And traveling is going to be called on Curtis Aiken down in the corner, and the ball goes over to Illinois.
Curtis had his eyes fixed on Charlie Smith inside. Smith had good inside position on Hamilton that time, but shuffled the feet before he got the pass off.
They've got Kenny Norman now pulled out on the wing. He's got the ball over on the side. Weisinger, Altenberger, three-point shot.
Doug's made three. 3 baskets and 9 points, and Illinois shot back into the lead at 17-15.
As Goodson works against Weisinger. Underneath, look at Kuyava. Moved in front on that pass intended for the big guy Smith and batted it out of bounds.
Boy, Jens had jumped off the bench and gotten right in there. He's pressuring Smith.
Pitt moves it out in front. That's Goodson with it between the rings. Bounces it left side. Underneath the whistle, and a foul on Smith.
Smith trying to get position on Jens. I'll tell you, Jens has a lot of body to move out of there.
Hey, I told you, Dan, Lou likes to talk with these officials early in the game. That was the Big East official that called that foul.
You're not suggesting.
Why, of course not. Just a little savvy of coaching, right? Bench coaching, they call it. And he's a good one doing it. In fact, one of the best. Down on the side, Norman. Weisinger has it. Under Kuyava.
Boy, I'll tell you what, that kid made a great catch on the ball. He didn't catch the ball very well the other night against Chicago State. He made a great play there.
And he didn't come down with it. He stayed right up in the air and put it back in. Lane has it in front. He'll fire it up. Well, he was unattended. And he got the easy jumper.
8 points for Lane so far.
Norman. Against Kuyava. How about that? Throws the ball out in front. Picked up by Aiken. Lead pass under to Goodson. Shot is up and no good, and a foul is going to be called on Kenny Norman of Illinois.
Once again, Kuyava working hard down there on the offensive board, but once he got that one, he was pretty well boxed in, and here you go again, another shot at it. Trying to get out front to Weisinger, and it didn't work. Curtis Aiken, 2-on-1, and Goodson will go to the free throw line.
Goodson looking for his first points of the night. As the sophomore from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Boy, you look ahead at this fine basketball team of Pittsburgh. Only one senior, that and the likes of Curtis Aiken. Goodson makes both of them and ties up the ball game at 19. The second time it's been tied. And we'll be back with more first half action after this on the Illini Sports Network.
Well, back in Pittsburgh with the score tied 19-19 and 11:25 to play in the first half. So far, the leading scorers, Doug Altenberger with 9 for Illinois. Jerome Lane has 8 for Pittsburgh. And Dick, the guy who we spoke so highly of before the game started, Charles Smith, doesn't have anything on the board yet.
Well, the telecast of tonight's game is authorized by the Athletic Association of the University of Illinois and is intended solely for the private use of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the accounts and the descriptions of this game without the express written consent of the Athletic Association of the University of Illinois is strictly prohibited. So the Illini will inbound it to our right, and on your screen they're working right to left as Tony Weisinger moving it across. Altenberger back to Tony Y, all tied at 19. Kuyava high post, puts it on the side. Look at
Doug Altenberger, 4 out of 5 from three-point land, and Illinois is back in front by 3.
outside Goodson. That's Lane with it against Lowell Hamilton. What a pass. Whipped it back. Charlie Smith fires it up. No. Rebound, no. Kuyava has it slapped away, gets it back, and dishes it off to Blackwell. Jens Kuyava. So far, Dan Rowan has made an impression on all of us. Underneath Hamilton. Working Lowell. Back to Weisinger. Altenberger from the corner. Doug Altenberger is absolutely putting on a show, folks. 5 of 6 from three-point range. 25-19, Altenberger. Goodson, right side Aiken. Look at here. Oh, too bad, Jens. You did a fine job, but you got caught from behind trying to reach around the big guy, Charlie Smith.
Well, Jens is giving up a lot of quickness against Smith, but he almost got around, got halfway on him, and knocked the ball away.
Well, let's take a little look here.
There's your one-on-one matchup. Charles Smith breaking for the ball, and Kuyava bumping him with the body, but not bad. Jens is playing pretty good defense down there. And
it was a gentle foul, right?
As gentle as we've seen inside so far. Smith's going to have a chance to finally get on the board. You know, Altenberger's got these 5 three-point baskets, but what we haven't said much about is the defensive job he's done on Gore, who's probably their second-best scorer and who has only 2 points.
And he's back into the ball game right now, taking out the freshman Rod Brooken. So Charlie Smith at the line. He's got it. He'll get the bonus. On the year, Charlie Smith is an 85% free throw shooter. .6'10", just a junior. Missed that one, and Lowell Hamilton grabs it off for Illinois. Blackwell to Weisinger to Blackwell, under to Kuyava. Jens is hammered by Smith, and Charlie Smith now with his second.
And a tee on Paul Evans, so we're 1 for 1, and again it's the Big East official that called it. This guy's got a short fuse, I'll tell you that. Here's the pass inside to Kuyava. I think Paul Evans wanted to travel, but he was bumped before he moved that pivot foot, and Paul Evans gets a tee.
Tony Weisinger is going to be elected to shoot the foul.
But Illinois is not yet in the bonus, so Weisinger will shoot the 2 free throws, and then the Illini will have it out on the side. Again, a big play and a chance for a big lead. Tony's got that one. It's 26-20. If they score after this, they could go ahead by 9. A big turnaround. This one may hurt Pittsburgh much more than Lou Henson's tee hurt the Illini.
I really forgot all about that one. 27-20 Illinois, and that's Altenberger. Bill Weisinger. Blackwell. Now they're working to try to get it in there. They got it to Kuyava, and Jens back on the side as Hamilton puts it up from the lane. Oh, I'll tell you, Jens Kuyava is making him go for him. Boy, he breaks to the basket, and everyone drops in and sags on the big guy.
Well, you make a couple of baskets, you draw some attention on defense, and that left Hamilton wide open from 10 feet. And a nice pass by Jens, too.
Under to Smith. Well, one of the officials started to blow the whistle and didn't continue with it. And now, on the second replay, they had an opportunity to call it on Jens Kuyava.
Well, let's see what we get here. Do we get it on Kuyava before the shot? Yeah, we do. The foul will be on Jens before the shot. That should make this a 1-and-1. Yeah, the P got stuck in his whistle.
I heard something sputter out there, and there was the sound of a whistle, but not clearly he went off. But the next time around, he got him.
They're giving him 2. That's not right.
Charlie Smith with 2.
He was around Jens when he took that shot. Jens didn't make the foul, that second foul. He did hit him the first time. But he made the free throw anyway. What difference does it make, right?
9 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the first half, and Illinois' lead is 7.
Illinois played very well. They haven't let the crowd really get into it either.
Here's Blackwell. Off of the iron. Rebound comes back to Gore. Up court to Goodson.
That was not a good shot. And Blackwell is on his way to the pine. Here comes Kendall Gilligan.
As Gore. Smith.
So Smith on the board from the field for the first time tonight with 9 minutes to play in the first half.
You look back on that particular play, it wasn't the fault of the big guy inside. They let the man with the ball penetrate too quickly.
Kuyava did it again.
Well, I'm lost for words, folks, I'll tell you. 31-24, but I'm a happy person along with every other Illini fan. Here's a traveling call on Goodson. And boy, you can be happy for Jens Kuyava, who has tried so hard to make himself be a heard-up basketball player. But I'll tell you, here tonight in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, he's making quite an impression on everyone.
6 points, a couple of rebounds, played some pretty good defense on the second best big man in the country.
There's no question about it. 31-24, the Illini.
Kendall Gill and Kenny Norman back in for Illinois.
There's a 3-second violation. It's called on. Well, wait a minute. It's going to be holding.
It's
I thought
holding
that
foul in Pittsburgh.
Bill Herzog was motioning for a 3-second, but it's going to be a foul on the Panthers.
Goodson made the foul, and Tony Weil get the free throws, and that's always good news. He's the best shooter on the team. Illinois trying to get that lead back up to 9 with 8.5 to play in the first half. It's been a good game, and very well played from the Illini standpoint.
Tony Weisinger came into this ball game a 90% free throw shooter, and he is right now 3 for 3 at the line. And the Illini can extend their lead to 9 with 8.5 minutes to go in the half. Here comes Goodson. Under to Smith. Boy, I'll tell you, Kuyava, you're doing a job, big guy. Here comes Weisinger. Norman. Kenny Norman went to shoot the ball, but the likes of the hand of Charlie Smith was up high, and he tried to dish it off, and no one was there to get it to. So it's going to go over to Pittsburgh. Boy, Kenny Norman is looking for his first points of the game.
They've done a tremendous job on him. Of course, he sat for a while, too. Now Gore. Nice fake, nice everything, but he didn't get the basket.
Kendall Gill grabbed off the rebound. Norman has been fouled, and it's going to be whistled on Jerome Lane. Kenny Norman steps up to the line. On the year, he has attempted 24 free throws and made 16. He has attempted far more than any Illinois basketball player by almost a half.
That's because in those first 3 games, he's had the ball a lot. Down low where he can work. tonight he hasn't got it inside once yet.
Well, he's got the lid off of the basket now. Norman with his first point, and Illinois enjoying right now a 10-point lead with 7:49 to go in the half. And Norman has just made both of them. And there's a break in the action at Pittsburgh with the Illini leading by 11. Fighting Illini basketball continues after these messages from your local station.
Redecorate the kitchen for someone special with great holiday gifts from True Value hardware stores. Like the compact Hamilton Beach 3-speed hand mixer, just $9.99. This Norelco Dial-A-Brew 2 coffee maker for $18.88 brings out fuller flavor. Give cordless convenience with the West Bend Freestyle Iron, just $36.88. And freshen any room with this electronic air cleaner by Pollinex. It's only $59.99 at most True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Now that I'm a father, lots of things have changed. Like bowling with the guys isn't near as much fun as it used to be. Yeah, this little girl is really something special. We've already started saving for her education. We used to come up with more excuses not to save money. But now there's Trish, and we want to do everything right for her. That's why we save at Mutual.
Mutual Home and Savings. We help you save for special reasons.
A noisy Fitzgerald Gymnasium here on the campus of Pittsburgh University now is really kind of quieted down with the Illini leading by 11.
And with every point that lead goes up,
remember we'll
get quieter.
Remember we'll be back to Champaign on Monday night when Eastern Illinois will come to town to take on the Fighting Illini. The first time an Eastern Illinois basketball team has ever played the University of Illinois in basketball. So they will be there.
Was in the holiday tournament, Dick, excuse me, a couple of years ago.
But they didn't get matched up. That's right.
You know, it's nice that Lou Henson and Illinois schedule the in-state schools. You know, everyone likes to see those games. They played Chicago State. They'd love to play DePaul. They do play Loyola. UIC later on is in that tournament also. They may play them in this year's holiday tournament.
Here's a traveling violation on Charlie Smith. Kenny Norman was on him, and he tried to break down the alley and was guilty of the violation, and it goes out of bounds here on the side.
But Pittsburgh right now can't do anything right.
Well, the players said it. We said at the start of the broadcast, Dan, they wanted a challenge. They're getting it. On the side, Gill, the Weisinger, underneath. Gill on the slam. No, here's Norman on a follow-up. Good.
They tried a 1-2-2 zone that time, Pittsburgh did, and Weisinger smelled it out, got the lob pass in there. Gill missed it, but Kenny Norman was right there.
Down in the corner to Aiken. Back outside, Goodson. And now to Gore. Underneath to Lane. Shot off of the glass, good.
Boy, Lane, good inside position.
Well, Jerome Lane now has 10 to lead Pittsburgh in scoring. And Illinois still up by 11. 7 minutes to play. Kenny Norman.
They're matching up now on Altenberger.
Norman gets inside, misses the shot. Rebound comes back on the side to Gore. Up to Goodson. Boy, they missed an alley-oop try under to Smith. They've got it back to him. His shot blocked by against Kuyava.
Pittsburgh shooting 37%, now lower after that one. Illinois is at 60, and 5 of those have been three-point bombs by Doug Altenberg. Gore's got him in the left corner man-to-man. It's more of a boxing one than anything.
Traveling is called on Norman. Well, Kenny Norman is certainly having his problems here tonight. Unfortunately, as dedicated and as hardworking a basketball player as Kenny Norman, and getting an opportunity to play against one of the top 20 teams in the country, I know he wanted to have a good game, Dan, but he's just tight as can be in there tonight. And Lowell Hamilton will spell him for a moment.
Well, Pittsburgh's defense has his number, but there's a long way to go in this game. He may get on track yet. So may Charles Smith before it's all over with.
Here's a steal out in front. That's Kendall Gill. Follow-up Hamilton, no. Rebound comes out to the Panthers. Charlie Smith whirling and turning and going for the basket, and a traveling violation. And it was a good call.
Oh, I don't know, Dick. I'm not so sure he did.
Well, we'll see on a replay, hopefully, but maybe not.
Here you go. Here's the lead pass, and for 6'10", watch him put it on the floor. Oh, I don't know.
Well, he took that little skip.
The ball was in the air when he took that skip.
Gill under to Hamilton.
What a catch.
Boy, Lowell Hamilton.
Hamilton can flat get up.
39-26, Illinois. 5:40 to go. Gore with it on the side. Here's Charlie Smith and Kendall Gill working behind Charlie Smith. Smith took a pivot, put his foot back. Now, I'll tell you right now, Dan, if that first one was not a foul, that definitely wasn't a foul.
Nah, Kendall was working on somebody out at the point. Charlie Smith took a step back and ran into him, and they called a foul on Kendall. Wrong place at the wrong time.
Charlie Smith is 3 of 4 at the line tonight. And there you see just a junior from Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Into the game for the Panthers.
Glenn Blackwell checking back into the lineup, replacing Kendall Gill.
Kendall's done a nice job, too.
Kuyava, Hamilton, Altenberger, Blackwell, and Weisiger on the court for Illinois. As Smith, foul shot, rattles the iron and falls through. 39-28. Weisiger with it.
They've got Doug in the corner wide open.
Oh, Weisiger penetrating through the middle. The ball slapped around out in front, pulled out of the air by Aiken, who is averaging 30 points on the year. Dishes off to Lane. He fires it up and out and over the back. And a foul on Pittsburgh's Brooken. He literally used a stepladder to climb right up over the top of Blackwell.
Well, call it what you want as far as who initiated that contest. I think he was up in the air and Blackwell leaped, but Glenn had the inside position, and that's why the foul went that way. So he's down there with a chance to give Illinois that 13-point lead back.
Blackwell, 87% free throw shooter on the year. Goes to the line for the first time tonight.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, everything they get on offense from Glenn, and they're going to get plenty, is a bonus because he plays such tremendous defense on the other end.
In case you were watching your screen on that caption, that was not Tony Weisiger. This is Glenn Blackwell.
He just shoots free throws like Tony Weisiger.
There you go.
With the other hand, of course.
41-28 Illinois. That's Aiken out in front.
Right at 5 minutes left in the first half.
Brooken under to Smith. Over the top of Kuyava.
I'll tell you, he had to hit a tough shot. Jens was right there, hands straight up, no swinging at the ball, and Smith made a good shot to put it in.
He's got 11 points in the game.
Altenberger's moved up. There's a three-point shot by Y. Hey, they didn't give it to him.
Well, they fell asleep at the switch. I don't believe they were looking, but I thought it was had his feet
There's
behind.
no question. Tony ran back down the floor with his arms up.
Boy, look at that. Blocked by Kuyava. Brooken has it blocked away, but a foul is going to be on Lowell Hamilton.
Yep. Guy went in and took an off-balance shot that he was going to have a very hard time making, and Lowell took a swing at it, followed through with that swing, and knocked him down. That's trouble for the Illini because that's 3 fouls on Lowell Hamilton. He's on his way out. Norman back in. That's a mistake that a young player is going to make every now and then. And don't forget that as a freshman, Hamilton didn't play very much.
Brooken missing from the line. On the year, Pittsburgh as a team has shot 78% from the foul line. That one he makes. A lot of conversation in the stands, Dan, about Big Ten versus Big East. You can hear people back in the background. Now they're on the officials about, hey, do you work in the Big Ten or do you work in the Big East? Ah, it's great. Weisiger over to Altenberger on the side. To Weisiger. Blackwell.
Well, that looked like a travel to me.
Tony Y. To Blackwell. To Weisiger. This is a three-point try. Out in front to Gore. Pittsburgh trying to really get down quickly. Brooken drives down the lane, puts it back in front to Gore. Shot is good.
It's a good shot, a good passing by Pittsburgh. Illinois played pretty good D there. And
that's the first field goal of the ball game we have registered for Gore. And Illinois' lead is now 10 with 3 minutes and 38 seconds to go in the half. Kuyava hooks it up. No good. Gore on the rebound.
That was a bad time for Jens to try another one of those hook shots, but Pittsburgh helped out by throwing it away.
And Aiken threw it back into the hands of Weisinger, and Illinois goes storming down the court. Norman.
All day. Look at the crowd, Dick. They were all standing up cheering, and now they're right back down on their seats again.
Here's a jumper from the side by Gore.
Gore starting to get off. That's 6 points for him. Again, they make some noise, but this
Boy,
is
look at this. Norman up. What a great leap by Norman. That pass from Weisinger almost was at the top of the backboard, Dan.
He's an amazing athlete, Kenny Norman. There's not much out there he can't do.
Brooken with it to Lane.
Illinois gone man-to-man the whole night so far and done a very nice job.
They've got Gore posting up from the side, and all of a sudden he's hit 3 straight field goals, and he's kept the game close for Pittsburgh.
Maybe Doug Altenberger's beginning to tire out a little bit.
Blackwell, Weisinger, Jens.
Nailed it.
Boy, get yourself going, Jens, baby. That away. 49-37.
Kuyava with 8 points.
I'll tell you, the whole state has got to be ecstatic right now about Kuyava. And they've just called a foul on Big Jens.
Foul is on number 54, Jens Kuyava, his second personal. Charles Smith at the line.
And Charlie Smith goes to the line for the 1-and-1. Steve Bartow is going to check into the lineup for Illinois.
Into the game for the Illini, number
Charlie Smith was the leading scorer on the U.S. team that played in the World University Games in Spain that ran in conjunction with the Goodwill Games that beat the Russians and won a gold medal.
So he is a good one. And that's why they picked Pittsburgh to win the Big East.
He's one of the big reasons. Although he's up to 11 points now, he's been held pretty well in check.
Well, there's a break in the action at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There you see the score, the Illini by 10. And we'll return after this on the Illini Sports Network.
All good horse traders know horses. The best ones know cowboys, too.
He needs a little work, but the price is firm. He's worth it, but I'm a little short. Just pay me half now, and if I don't hear from you, he knows the way home.
Bush. Head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream. For a taste as smooth as its name. Bush. Head for Bush beer. Head for the mountains.
For the holidays, we always go to Grandma's.
They never leave.
She's got this special way she prepares food. What's that special thing you do, Grandma?
I cook it.
The holidays.
This season, I'm eating out. Batter fried shrimp at Long John Silver's. Plump golden brown, and I don't have to cook. Now that's a holiday treat.
Gee, Grandma, you're not serious about not cooking, are you?
Long John Silver's.
Watch me.
Sounds good to me.
Well, there you see our next broadcast is going to be Monday night at the Assembly Hall. There's still a few tickets available, but I'll tell you, Illinois can hang on here and win tonight. We ought to have them rocking and shouting in the Assembly Hall in Champaign on Monday night, because you know that people around the Charleston area will journey up to watch that game. As Eastern Illinois there to take on the Fighting Illini.
Yeah, those tickets may go fast if Illinois plays as well the rest of this game as they have so far.
1:58 remaining here in the first half, and Illinois with a 10-point lead. And that is Tony Weisinger. The Panthers in that zone. Altenberger to Weisinger. To Bardo. Weisinger. Hamilton.
Great pass.
To Kuyava.
Just a great pass, and Kuyava, Dick, has really shown me something down here.
Well, he's got 10 points already in the first half. Here's a foul on the big guy Cooper that has just come into the ball game. Tico Cooper, a 6'7" senior out of Pittsburgh. And we'll take the walk to the other end of the court.
It was a short trip off the bench for Cooper. He played about 13 seconds, and Smith is back in the game.
He looked like a world beater warming up here in the gym early in the tonight, Dan. I'll tell you.
He's a specimen.
He sure didn't stay very long.
Here's Doug, first time at the line tonight after those 5 3-point baskets.
I was going to say it's the first points that he has recorded other than a 3-point play.
16 now for him, and this will be 17. And Illinois' biggest lead at 53-39.
Over the line, Aiken.
Tony Wise got in. Altenberger back on Gore now, checking the man-to-man.
Smith, he's fouled by Altenberger.
Not a bad foul to take, really, because if he had not done it, Charlie Smith was about to hook the pass down there to Lane, and he was going to hammer one. That's 2 on Doug. And Smith, who's been a busy guy at that free throw line, is back there for 2 more. Now, this time they give him the 1-on-1. He was passing.
That's 14 points unofficially for Charlie Smith. 1:15 left in our first half. So Cooper comes back in for a second shot at it. And sitting down is Charlie Smith.
Well, Smith has a couple of fouls, and Paul Evans doesn't want to pick up that third one with just a minute to play in the first half.
Weisinger to Bardo to Weisinger. Cross to Altenberger to Weisinger. Bardo, Weisinger.
There it is.
Altenberger. Doug has the ball taken away on the pass. He tried to get underneath the Norman by Brooken, and here comes Pittsburgh back.
Brooken made a nice defensive play. People thought Altenberger was going to shoot that ball. Instead, he tried to kick it to the corner, and Brooken was right there.
Aiken fires to Brooken on the side. Back out to Aiken.
Nice defense. Nice defense by Illinois.
Aiken, who is averaging 30 points a game, has had 7, 2 3-point plays and a free throw. And we're down to 29 seconds in the game. 19-18 on the shot clock. There's one from way out. And Aiken has got his third 3-point bucket.
Shot clock goes off with 17, 16, 15 to go in the first half. It's a 9-point game, and Illinois would like to get a bucket here. Down to 8. There it is from 30.
There's Altenberger. It would have counted if it had gone in. So that's the end of the first half at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And an amazing bunch of Fighting Illini come here and show the Big East that they can play a little basketball also. And that's the end of the first half with a score. Illinois 53 and Pittsburgh 44. And we'll be back with our halftime activities after this.
A sip of Swiss Miss hot cocoa tastes so good and rich, it makes me... Carnation rich chocolate flavor doesn't taste as rich. Swiss Miss is wonderfully creamy and rich at tasting. It's full of real Wisconsin milk and rich imported cocoa. So why feel like when you could feel like? Swiss Miss, the only thing better than the way it tastes is the way it makes you feel. Swiss Miss, regular and sugar-free.
Our house is a very, very, very fine.
Come on, boys. Hope we're not late.
At our house, nobody wants to be late for dinner, because our house is an Eckridge house, and dinner's smoked sausage.
Mommy, is dinner ready?
All meat, hardwood smoked, seasoned just the way we like it.
Honey, I'm home.
My Eckridge sausage is so tasty, they can't wait.
Now?
Now.
Our house.
Eckridge, the very best from our house to yours.
Darryl, you know I can't swim.
Take my word for it. You won't have to.
You said that last time.
You are going to be the first man to be shot across the Mississippi River. And we are going to rake in millions.
You sure I'll hit the net?
Not to worry. I've measured your trajectory precisely.
But Darryl, I'm scared.
Ah, don't be scared. You can't miss. Fly!
There's
There's another way to shoot for millions. Play Lotto.
Life is full of changes, and State Farm is there.
I'm State Farm Agent George Palmy. If your family's like mine, you'll find reminders of how fast things change. Wasn't so long ago, my daughter Jill was riding in this. Now she drives this. Look around you. If you see your insurance needs have changed, auto, home, life, or health, see your State Farm agent for a family insurance checkup. The advice is free.
And like a good neighbor,
And the decisions are yours.
Well, welcome back. We're at halftime at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and the Fighting Illini leading by a total of 9 points, Dan. And I'll tell you, we sit here absolutely amazed because Jens Kujava came off of the bench, scored 10 points. Kendall Gill came off of the bench as a freshman and really played well. And then the likes of Hamilton, who got himself in gear, and Haltenberger hitting 5 3-point shots, really, I think, caught Pittsburgh by complete surprise.
Well, they've scouted Illinois. There's no question about that. And they know what kind of range Doug Altenberger has. I was surprised they didn't switch their defense a little bit earlier. You know, the guy makes 3 or 4 in a row. Why give him the shot? But he kept on knocking them down, and he's the big reason why Illinois is in front by 9 points.
You know, you had mentioned the fact that we are in a small gym, ladies and gentlemen, only 6,900. Actually, it's about the same size as Old Huff Gym used to be many years ago when Illinois played there. But the fans seem to get into this ball game, and then all of a sudden they're out of it. They probably still are playing football around here, don't you imagine?
Well, I don't know if it's so much that, Dick, it is that they're surprised that their team's not winning. I mean, Pittsburgh's supposed to win the Big East. They're a top 12, top 11, top 10 team, whatever. And they really haven't played all that well. Illinois' defense has shut down some of their key people. And Illinois, every time one of those 3-point goals goes in, let's put it that way, the crowd gets a little bit more quiet.
Well, it's been an interesting first half as the Fighting Illini really have caught us, I'm sure, with a great response, and we're speaking specifically of Jens Kujava, who's had a tough time getting fans in his court, getting them behind him because he's got potential. He's 7 foot tall. He's a smart young man, and he just needed a game like this, I would say, to be kind of a confidence builder. And boy, I'll tell you, if you can't do it against a number 12 ranked team in the country and scored 10 points in the first half, I don't know what can give you the confidence.
Well, and against one of the great big guys in the nation in Charles Smith. But that hook shot is almost impossible to stop. I mean, when he brings it from way down low up over the top at 7 feet, no one's really going to block it. The only way they're going to block it is from down here when a guard knocks the ball away.
That's the one that Kenny Battle blocked.
Kenny Battle could do it, but he's one of the few who could.
Well, we're at halftime, and we're going to be back with more after this from your local stations.
When the Illini score, you score. At Shelby Toyota Mazda, everyone's a winner. With each Illini victory, you can get any truck in stock at dealer cost. This victory celebration means you save hundreds on Toyota and Mazda trucks. Forget the window sticker. You buy at dealer cost. Just purchase your new truck within 48 hours of an Illini win and save at least $600. Everyone loves a winner, especially Shelby Toyota Mazda, where customer satisfaction is their #1 goal. What selection? What savings? What? You must have heard. If you want appliances, electronics, and accessories, the Home and Entertainment Plaza is certainly worth a look. Their huge selection includes quality from GE, RCA, Emerson, and Panasonic. Pay with cash, credit card, 90 days, same as cash, or weekly payments. Make your purchase any way you can, but make it now from the Home and Entertainment Plaza, downtown Champaign.
For maximum performance, weatherproof your corn soil insecticide. Use Counter in furrow. Your protection won't be scattered by wind during application. And it's protected from heavy rains, so you put all of your insecticide to work in the soil. And Counter, with its unique Action 3, controls more major corn pests than any other insecticide. For superior control and proven performance, put your money where your crop is. Counter in furrow.
What gives Slice that extra burst?
Juice. We got the juice. We got the flash. A burst of taste in every glass. We got the juice. We got the twist. We got what's right and 7-Up miss.
10% fruit juices.
We got the juice. We got the flash. Slice. We got the taste that no one has. So nice. We got the juice.
Diet too.
We'll keep the word snow out of the forecast tonight at 10.
right now, I'm assured of that. As we were talking to Lou Henson and his wife Mary before the game, you know, Dan, they attended an alumni function here in Pittsburgh, and over 75 Illinois alumni showed up for a little refreshments. And so that just goes to show you there's Illinois fans all over the place.
Well, there are. It's a big university with a great network, and you know, part of that networking is how they get some of the good players to come in. I mean, by word of mouth to the recruiters, and every little bit helps. And they've got some fans here at the game tonight, too.
It's nice to see the orange and blue scattered amongst the blue and the gold of Pittsburgh. Well, our halftime activity continues with a look at the University of Illinois.
One of the closed doors of cancer treatment has been unlocked at the University of Illinois College of Veterinary Medicine. Researchers have successfully treated cancerous tumors using this device, which transmits beams of ultra-high sound frequencies to heat tumors.
Hyperthermia is the delivery of increased temperatures to tumor, and tumor cells just happen to be quite sensitive to increased temperatures, not burning temperatures, but warm temperatures. In addition, radiation and many different kinds of anti-tumor medicines also are more effective when they're treated with heat.
The ultrasound machine uses 16 independently controlled heating elements to selectively heat and penetrate the tumor. It provides several advantages. It can apply heat at different levels without damaging surrounding healthy body tissues. It's capable of deep penetration without requiring surgery. Doctors can treat either superficial or internal tumors, and ultrasound can be used with other forms of treatment, such as radiation and chemotherapy, for maximum effectiveness. Ultrasound has been approved for use on human cancer patients and is now being tested at 5 locations.
See the score, and happy as it is, 53-44, the Fighting Illini leading the Panthers of the University of Pittsburgh. And we've got the possibility going on right now, Dan. We've just been informed that there could be a record established here tonight, and they were talking about the assist record, of which Tony Weisinger right now has 11. 15 is a record set by Bruce Douglas, and he's only 4 away from tying and 5 away from setting a new one.
I'll tell you where he got 5 of them, by throwing the ball against that zone over to the left wing and letting Doug Altenberger fire it up from three-point land.
I'll tell you some interesting statistics thus far, and as we had mentioned, Doug Altenberger, of course, with 5 three-point plays. That so far is the most of any Illinois basketball player thus far. And it's been a tremendous first half of play. The strength off of the bench with Kuyava and Kendall Gill, Dan, is just, you know, the more you sit here and the more you talk, you just can't give them enough praise, really.
No, Kendall's played well, and Kuyava's been sensational. We've got some numbers, and as this is a shared feed, Dick, we're not going to be able to put them up on the screen, but Illinois is 19 of 36 in the first half from the field for 53%. They're 5 out of 10 from the three-point area. Pittsburgh, 13 of 27, 48%. They are 3 of 3 from behind the stripe. Illinois with 18 rebounds to 15 for Pittsburgh and 13 turnovers for the Illini to 11 for Pitt. And again, Altenberger has knocked in 5 from outside that 19-foot, 9-inch stripe.
We'd like to tell you right now that you know that the NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship, the first round, is going on at Kenny Gym in Champaign. And after game 1, Northern Iowa has beaten Illinois 14-8 to take the lead in that series going on at Kenny Gym down at Champaign. We hope we'll have the rest of the score for you before we're out of this broadcast. Well, we're at halftime, and we'll be back with more second half action after this.
Still does.
Press and Communications Management are approved by the Athletic Association of the University of Illinois. And welcome back to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There you see where we'll be next. It'll be Monday night at the Assembly Hall in Champaign, Eastern Illinois, taking on the Fighting Illini. Right here, it's 53-44 in favor of Illinois as we get all set to begin the final 20 minutes of play. And as we had mentioned, Tony Weisinger finds himself just 4 away from tying the record in the assists. He needs 15. He's got 11 here in the first half. We've got another 20 minutes to try to do it. And there you just saw the scoring. Altenberger with 17 leading the way, and Smith has 13 for Pittsburgh. And, of course, most of those, in fact, 9 of those 13 points of Smith came from the foul line.
Yeah, he was only 2 out of 7 in the first half from the field, and that's due in large part to some pretty good defense played by Kiyava and by Lowell Hamilton on him. They'll have to keep it up because he could really turn into a factor in the game if he ever gets warmed up.
You know, Dan, you look back and you recall the days that you participated in basketball. I'm the same way. And, you know, when a gentleman plays as hard as he did in the first half, didn't get a chance to start, and he comes back out and you start him in the second half, you know that he's done a good job because Jens Kuyava is going to start here to get play underway in the second half. He, along with Blackwell, Kenny Norman, Altenberger, and Weisinger. Pittsburgh will counter with Goodson, Lane, Smith, Aiken, and Gore. And the ball goes out of bounds at midcourt to Pittsburgh. Incidentally, we're checking the advanced schedule for the Panthers. They play Chicago State, a team Illinois last played, here in January. It's the only game that will be intermingled among their Big East schedule, which also begins in January. Aiken has it on the side.
Aiken had an idea back there, too.
Gore under to Smith. Shot up, no. Rebound batted around. Kuyava, once again, a force in a offense that was attempted there by Smith and rejected it away, and Illinois has it. That's Blackwell. Outside Weisinger. Altenberger. Kuyava. And Jens has just been fouled. It's either on Smith or it's on Aiken.
It's Smith, and I think that's number 3. Now they gave it to 34, Jerome Lane, so Smith avoided that third one. Jens to the free throw line.
Correct that, Dan. It's on Aiken.
It was on Aiken?
And that, by the way, is his third.
Okay.
Jens Kuyava at the line.
Jens Kuyava goes to the line.
Boy, he even put that ball on the floor after he got the rebound and horsed it back up toward the rim. Jens has just been sensational.
Jens Kuyava, on the season, he had made 3 of 4 from the foul line. That's his first one tonight, his 11th point. And Jens Kuyava has given Illinois an 11-point advantage. Smith into the corner to Gore. Demetrius Gore, who really one of the super one-on-one players in the country, a junior from Detroit, Michigan, was kept pretty much in harness that first half. Kuyava, boy.
Beautiful
Norman.
pass. Just a beautiful pass from Jens, and Norman put it away. Kuyava drew that defense to him and dropped it right off to Kenny Norman.
Here's Goodson.
Nope.
Boy, look at Kuyava. Just muscled the ball right out of the arm of Charlie Smith.
That ball was on the way down. That should have been goaltending.
Here's Goodson. And a foul on the Jens Kuyava. That's 3 on Kuyava.
Foul is on number 54, Jens Kuyava. His third personal.
Here's the block. Let's see here. Oh, kind of tough to see. The ball wasn't really in the screen, but looked like that ball may have been coming down. Smith way up in the air to get a piece of it.
Let's one go. An air ball up out in front. Altenberger, 3-on-1 Illinois.
Boy, he ran that to perfection. The guy sagged off in the wings, and he just pulled up from 8 feet. That's Doug's first 2-point basket of the night. He has 19 points.
59-46 Illinois.
Get out of there.
Aiken has just been fouled by Blackwell. And Aiken will go to the line with 2 shots for Pittsburgh.
21, Glenn Blackwell. His second. Team second. Curtis Aiken shooting 2.
Aiken now has got 11. He is 2 of 3 from the foul line. Lane with a rebound, blew it. The ball slapped away from Smith out of bounds by Blackwell. They'll go back to Pittsburgh. So Curtis Aiken will inbound it. 17:39 to play in the game, and Illinois leads by 12. Well, there is a great play by Demetrius Gore.
That is a tough shot. He was bumped before he took it. He was off balance and still drilled it.
Weisinger to Altenberger. Norman is hammered by Smith, I believe. They're going to call it on Smith, and that is his third.
Nice look by Altenberger, and then a nice head fake by Norman. Got Smith up in the air.
There you see, excuse me, Dan, there you see the 6'10" Charlie Smith. We had said at the beginning, considered by many the second best big man in the country at 6'10". Kenny Norman misses the free throw attempt. He had made 2 previous attempts at the line. And he gets that one. And Illinois has an 11-point lead. Aiken into the corner, back out to Gore against Altenberger.
Well, just a little bit of a fake, enough to get Altenberger up on the balls with his feet. And Demetrius yo-yoed it in. He's got 3 baskets in the second half. He's really kept him in the game. Trying to pick up that defensive pressure out front in the zone.
Jump shot by Norman from down on the baseline, and that's 13 for Kenny. Well, the crowd gets into it, and Illinois takes him out of it. As Gore flips it across the side, and the jumper is up by Brooken. Off of the iron, no good. Rebound batted out in front, picked up by Norman. Norman down, has it slapped away. Tried to get it down to Weisinger, now finally does. Lobbing it way out in front to Altenberger.
Alley-oop.
Kenny Norman all alone. They saw him underneath, and Pittsburgh goes to sleep on defense, and Illinois up by 13.
Another assist to Tony Weisinger. He's going to get that record before this game's over. I don't think there's any question about it.
Illinois back into the zone.
Jens knocked it away and retrieves as Altenberger goes up into the stand. A couple of baskets now, and it might be over. They've got Pittsburgh on the ropes with 15:40 to play in the game.
Three-pointer.
Paul Evans is going to have to call timeout.
Illinois leads at 67-51. Outside Aiken. On the side floor, underneath, and a foul on Jens Kuyava. That's 4 on Kuyava. And Lowell Hamilton will check back into the lineup now for Illinois. There's 15:22 to go here in the ball game, and Illinois enjoying a 16-point lead. And there's a timeout on the court, and we'll be back with more on the Illini Sports Network.
The best way to tackle a hot job is to get right down to it. And when you can stand tall, you head for the mountains. Whoosh. Head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream, for a taste as smooth as its name. Bush. Head for Bush Beer. For the mountains.
For the holidays, we always go to Grandma's.
They never leave.
She's got this special way she prepares food. What's that special thing you do, Grandma?
I cook it.
The holidays.
This season, I'm eating out. Better fried shrimp at Long John Silver's. Plump golden brown, and I don't have to cook. Now that's a holiday treat.
Gee, Grandma, you're not serious about not cooking, are you?
Long John Silver's.
Watch me.
Sounds good to me.
67-51, and there you see the score. Dick Martin along with Dan Rowan. We've got just 15:22 left to play in the ball game, and Dan, it's been an enjoyable evening thus far in Fitzgerald Gymnasium here on the campus of the University of Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh, PA. As a hustling bunch of Fighting Illini basketball players have come to play ball tonight for sure. And Aiken will inbound it for the Panthers underneath their own basket. Lobbing it underneath. Smith, the big guy, goes for the slam. Woo!
He stepped on that one, didn't he?
He did that with authority, folks. Here's Weisinger. Altenberger on the wing.
Paul Evans has seen enough of that zone. He's gone man-to-man, and immediately Gore bumps Altenberger.
That's the third team foul on Pittsburgh here with 15 minutes to play.
Finally, with 15 minutes to go, Altenberger has shot him out of that zone defense. And I'll guarantee you, you'll see the ball go into Kenny Norman a lot more now. He's got Jerome Lane on him. Lou Henson's waving him over to this side of the floor right now.
Tony Weisinger trying to drive through the middle has just been fouled. It's on Aiken, and that for him is his fourth. The leading scorer of the Panthers, averaging 30 points a game, has just been credited with his fourth personal foul. And Coach Paul Evans is going to take no chance. He's going to call on Rod Brooken, the 6'5 freshman, to come in replacing Aiken. They'll have to do a little reshuffling and reordering their positions on the court. They'll probably put Gore out in front with Goodson and Brooken down on the wing. And to the line, Tony Weisinger for Illinois with a couple of free throws. Tony 6 points in the ball game. A little less than 15 minutes to play. Boy, there's not much arch on Tony Weisinger's free throws.
I got that one off the middle of his hand, I think. That's better. He's 6 for 6. Illinois hasn't missed a free throw tonight.
I got Norman missing one, Dan.
Like I said, they've missed one free throw all night.
Gore down underneath. Brooken to Smith. 69-55, Illinois.
So basket for basket is not going to help Pittsburgh get back into the game. Glenn Blackwell shuffled the foot, dragged his pivot foot, and the turnover goes back to Pittsburgh.
And Lou Henson wasting no time. He's going to call on Kendall Gill to come in replacing Glenn Blackwell.
He's quick on the trigger sometimes. Make a mistake, he wants to make sure you know you made a mistake.
Gibson has it in front.
Glenn will be back.
Underneath, here's Lane.
The baskets are getting much easier now for Pittsburgh. They've gotten inside for 2 dunks and a layup the last 3 times down the floor. And it's back to a 12-point game. And the defensive pressure is really picking up by Pitt.
Lowell Hamilton tries to fire a jump shot in for 15. It's taken away. What a play by Kendall Gill. Slapped it right away from Charlie Smith, and Illinois has got another opportunity here.
They need to get into their offense. Too much one-on-one right now. Now they got it. Boy, Pittsburgh's playing some great man-to-man D. Foul on Gore. Hey, reached in on Altenberger. Got a piece of the ball, but got him across the wrist.
Lou Henson, seeing that Illinois is not in their offense, is going to take its timeout with 13:27 to go. And Illinois leading by 12. The Illini basketball continues after these messages.
Santa says ho, 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 but we say go, go, go to Landmark Ford in Springfield if you want to make your holiday super special. Buy any new or used car or truck from Landmark Ford, and upon delivery, you'll receive a wireless remote control videotape recorder to put under your tree for free. Special rates on all cars and trucks, plus 2.2 24-month financing on the Ford Escort, America's best-selling car. It's a joyous season for all. Shop Landmark Ford BMW and make your dream come true.
True Value Hardware, it's more than a name.
Bring a new look to any room with a Lauren 26-inch tall table lamp. You'll choose from earth tone glass bases, each with a fabric shade and a 3-way switch. Or select a pair as a great gift. In December, get the Lauren table lamp for just $13.99 while supplies last. Look for the Bargain of the Month banner at most True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Well, Lou Henson has taken the time out, Dan Roan, and I'm sure to discuss. Let's get back into the flow of the offense, man.
He's got a couple of things to talk about, Dick, and I think they involve play on both ends of the floor.
Here we're going to see their real superstar, Charlie Smith, in a slam. And that was the one that certainly showed that he meant business after going without the ball. Here's another one that's coming up.
Pretty good dish there by Brooken, and Smith and the rest of
Inside to Hamilton.
I don't know if that was the offense, but off the inbound play, Lowell buried that one, and it was a big basket for Illinois.
And the first one of the second half on Hamilton, which gives him 8 in the game. The score underneath the lane.
Kenny Norman playing behind Jerome Lane. I think Kenny thought he was going to get that block, but Lane got up real quickly and unloaded that shot.
Weisinger.
Lane's got 14. Now, Pittsburgh's going to play that tight, a man-to-man defense. The lob should work here somewhere along the line.
Tony Weisinger trying to drive on Goodson, and Goodson guilty of the foul. His second for the team. They're 6th in this half.
Yeah, 16 fouls, and that's awfully early to have that many fouls. 12:45 to go. Tony had about half a step on Goodson, and that was enough.
Weisinger inbounds it underneath his own basket. 71-59, Illinois with a lead underneath Kenny Norman. Up over the top of the big guy Smith. And Kenny Norman now in this half with 9:17 of the game.
Smith can't afford to get that 4th foul, so he couldn't do much but stand straight up, and Norman jumped right over him.
Gore working on Altenberger. To Goodson, back to Gore. Boy, all kinds of shoving underneath, and Hamilton is going to be guilty of it. Lowell Hamilton with Brooken and Charlie Smith and Norman all doing a little shoving around.
Jens is coming back because that's 4 on Hamilton. So of those 2 centers with 10 fouls to give, they've used up 8, Dick. Both these guys have 4. And Kuyava will get the call with 12:25 to go. It could be a quick trip. Smith is really working, throwing some elbows inside. Now Jens is going to try to front him.
Boy, they threw it over and back. And it's going to be Illinois basketball. What a great, you don't know whether you could see it at all on the screen, but Tony Weisinger did a super job on Goodson. He would not let him get to the ball to get the pass over on the far side from Lane. It comes into Norman. He'll drive on Lane. The shot off of the side of the backboard comes back out to Lane. 3-on-2 for Pittsburgh. Up on the side, a jumper. Goodson, no. Tip up, no good. And I believe it's going to be on Jens Kuyava.
Well, they're up and screaming here in Pittsburgh, and I'll tell you what, they should scream because he's been a huge factor in the game, and now he's gone with 12:02 to play.
Jens Kuyava has fouled out with 12 points. And as Dan just said, a little more than 12 minutes to go in the ballgame. You check it out yourself right here.
Here's the shot. This is one you'd expect them to make. They did not. Kuyava didn't have inside position. Lane and Rod Brooken were both inside, and Jens went right over the top. So Lou Henson's going to go with a surprise here. The freshman Jeff Finke's on his way in. See, Jens upset about that one, but no question about the call. He's had a great night. He shouldn't feel too bad, I'll tell you that. Jeff Finke.
Well, he'll muscle with him.
An all-state tight end in Class A out of Casey.
Out to Brooken. To Goodson. Here's a drive. It's up and out. Rebound taken away underneath there. And a foul is going to be called on Finke.
That's kind of a ticky-tack foul for all the contact that was going on in there. Altenberger got decked.
Well, they probably thought Demetrius Gore should have been picked up with a charge on Altenberger there.
I don't know. It was close as to who was at that spot before whom. But now Illinois with 16 fouls, so this could evolve into a free throw shooting contest before it's all over with.
73-59, Illinois with the lead. Still 11:48 to go in the ball game. And down underneath the Pittsburgh basket, that's Demetrius Gore getting ready to toss it in. The junior from Detroit, Michigan. Just lobs it in close on the side to Smith.
Kenny Norman's got Smith now. The matchup is two of the premier big guys in the country.
Here's the drive by Lane. And a foul is going to be called on Lane for charging. So Pittsburgh now with Lane, Gore, and Smith all with 3 fouls, and Aiken with 4 and on the bench. We'll move to the other end of the court. And Glenn Blackwell is going to check in as Lou Henson now doing some jockeying with the substitutions as Finke will come out. Blackwell comes in, and Pittsburgh is going to take a break in the action. And when we come back, Doug Altenberger will be at the foul line for Illinois. And you're watching Friday Illini basketball on the Illini Sports Network.
Life is full of changes, and State Farm is there.
I'm State Farm Agent George Palmy. If your family's like mine, you'll find reminders of how fast things change. Wasn't so long ago, my daughter Jill was riding in this. Now she drives this. Look around you. If you see your insurance needs have changed, auto, home, life, or health, see your State Farm agent for a family insurance checkup. The advice is free.
And like a good neighbor,
And the decisions are yours.
Well, there you have it, 73 to 59. Illinois with 11:38 to go in the second half. And as we had said, Doug Altenberger will start the action off as we come back from this timeout. He'll be at the line with a 1-and-1 for Illinois.
You know,
and as Dan Rowan was saying while we were away on that break a moment ago, this could be one of the longest basketball games we've ever been through because both teams are in the bonus and still 11:38 to go.
You know, Dick, Charlie Smith shook loose for a couple of jams down there, and they got another layup, and it feels like we should be getting nervous. But if Altenberger makes these 2 free throws, and there's the first one, Illinois will still have its biggest lead of the game at 16. So the Illini have been matching them hoop for hoop, and if that continues, they're going to win it. Of course.
Altenberger has 24 points with that free throw, and Illinois 75-59. Down in the corner to Gore. Underneath the lane. Smith. They're going to call a foul. Apparently, it's going to be on Kendall Gill, who tried to reach in from behind. The basket won't count. And it'll send Charlie Smith to the foul line.
Little zone defense education for Kendall Gill, who was supposed to step in there in front of Smith in that zone and didn't get the job done. But fortunately, fouled Smith before he hammered it.
This is the 11th trip to the foul line tonight for Charlie Smith.
His numbers are improving rapidly here, aren't they? He's made 10 free throws, got 4 baskets. That adds up to about 18 on my card.
Smith with the next one.
Boy, he's got a nice touch for a big guy. Nice touch for anybody.
75-61 Illinois.
Illinois shooting 60% now, 27 out of 45, and Pittsburgh 48%. So both teams on the way up. Pitt playing man-to-man and playing hard. Norman almost traveled.
Trying to get the motion offense going out here in front. Leaving that area under the basket wide open.
Shot clock down to 15. They don't mind burning some clock here either.
Boy, Weisinger made a great move.
Oh, he just slipped around Goodson. I don't think Goodson knew what was happening to him.
That's 10 for Tony Weisinger.
Only 2 baskets, but what a game he's having. Well, Smith moved Altenberger out. Charles is starting to assert himself. Boy, still 10 and a half to play in this game. Good drive, Gill. And a new 45 seconds.
Alert basketball by Kendall Gill. And Lou Henson wants a timeout. 10:09 to go. Illinois leading where you see it. And there's a timeout on the floor. And we'll be back after these local messages.
Don't know which phone to buy? We just remodeled, and I'm buying these. Good choices. At Walmart, these General Electric phones in blue, white, gray, and rose are only $39.96 anytime you shop. And for your entertainment, Sound Design's rack system with dual cassette player, turntable, and an AM/FM stereo is just $224.86 every day.
For my electronics, I shop Walmart when I'm ready to buy.
That's real savings. That's the Walmart way.
Introducing the Pepsi Illinois Lottery Game. Just look under the caps of specially marked bottles of Pepsi and other Pepsi-Cola Company brands. If you find the Illinois Lottery Pot of Gold symbol, you win a free instant game lottery ticket. And that could be worth up to $1 million. So pop open a cool million. Play the Pepsi Illinois Lottery Game.
We're going to see a replay a moment ago. As you can see there, the score, Illinois leading by 77-63. As the replay of a block shot.
Yeah, Pittsburgh has really upped that man-to-man pressure. Now, there's Tony Wise sneaking inside. That time they got beat. But the last time they got beat, too, Kendall Gill went for the glass and they slapped it away. So Pittsburgh is also helping. They're playing a pretty good.
Well, our producer gave us the bad call right back in the truck out there. We thought it was a block, but it was a fine move by Tony Y. But we'll take anything to give us.
Yeah, we'll make him sound good.
That's right. Norman has it off now to Weisinger at the top of the key.
They look better now on offense.
Norman, what a play. And he's just been fouled. It's going to be called.
They score the goal.
They're going to give a goaltending call and a foul also with it to Lane.
Score it. This is why they call him the snake, folks. Kenny Norman down in the lane. One-on-one with Jerome Lane, and Jerome can't handle that. He's around him. He was fouled, and Smith blew it out of there for a goaltend.
Number 33, Ken Norman, gets the basket and will shoot one.
Kenny makes this for 20 points and gives Illinois their biggest lead with 9:51 to play. It's 80-63.
That's Goodson working against Weisinger in the corner to Gore. Kenny Norman is going to be charged with a foul. That's number 3 on Norman.
Lou Henson didn't really agree with that foul, as you can see.
I'm going to be the first to say I love Lou Henson's charcoal sport coat.
He looks good, doesn't he?
No question about it.
Concerned, but good. You know, you talk about a long game. This thing is going to go on a while if they continue to call that stuff inside. The Pitt guys are backing in trying to get position. Illinois players trying to hold their ground, and they're going to whistle it. Well, Norman strong to the glass for that missed free throw.
Smith finally missed one.
Illinois could go up 19 with a basket here.
They go up 20 with a three-pointer. As Altberger working around a pick there on front. Out of Gill.
Great pass.
Great feed underneath. And Norman got it.
Norman's too quick inside for those guys. Great feed from the freshman Kendall Gill.
82-63 Illinois. Kenny Norman has just been guilty of a foul.
Now wait a minute. Norman can't believe it. I don't know what's going to happen. They count the basket as well they should. I'll tell you how quick Demetrius Gore is. He got by Doug Altenberger on the baseline, and a lot of people don't do that. Kenny Norman with 4.
Hamilton has 4.
Piava's already gone.
And the freshman Phil Kuntz from Carlisle, Illinois, at 6'9", is going to enter the lineup, replacing Norman. Well, I'll tell you, our youngsters are going to get their indoctrination into major college basketball tonight. Here's Kuntz as he pulls off the rebound for Illinois.
It's a baptism under some degree of fire, Dick, with a 17-point lead. It's not all that critical right now, but it very well could be.
Hamilton has it in front to Altenberger. Kuntz to Gill to Hamilton. Weisinger. Altenberger has it inside, and he's just been hammered, and it's on Gore, and that is his fourth. Pittsburgh finds themselves in pretty much the same predicament as Illinois, as Lane with 4, Gore with 4, and Aiken on the bench with 4, and Smith has 3. Aiken is going to come back into the lineup, replacing Brooken now for Pittsburgh. And Doug Altenberger goes to the line with a couple of free throws. Zipped it. Altenberger 5 for 5 at the line. 25 points in the book. 26 points for Doug Altenberger. And Illinois by 19. Goodson fires it in the corner to Aiken. Back outside, Goodson. There with a long one. No good. Rebound. Lost by Hamilton out of bounds. Apparently touched last by Lowell. It's going to go back to Pittsburgh. 8:27 left. Aiken to Smith in the corner. Back outside to Gore.
Dick Smith has really quieted down.
Aiken tries through and makes it.
Good penetration, Curtis Aiken.
I'm a little surprised that Pittsburgh isn't trying to pick him up a little more close on defense. Dan, they're waiting for him and greeting him at the 10-second line.
Maybe they don't think they're quick enough to try a trap or something like that. The time's starting to run a little bit short. 8 minutes even to play now. Altenberger's got a lane, and Smith passed it away.
There's a great drive by Jerome Lane, and he has 16.
Boy, credit Charles Smith, though, with starting that play on the other end. Altenberger had a wide-open layup, and Smith came out of nowhere to blow it away. Great play by Charles Smith, and look out.
Well, I'll tell you, he just about knocked the whole basket down. And the Pittsburgh fans are noisy in PA right now. There's 7:24 to go, and their Panthers have fought back from a 19-point deficit now to trail by only 13. You can see there 84-71 on that slam dunk by Charlie Smith.
That's about as quick as 6 as you can get cut off a lead. I mean, they scored 6 in a big hurry without a three-point shot.
And a reminder that Monday night we'll be back in Champaign for the Eastern Illinois basketball game. It tips off a little after 7 o'clock. Our broadcast right at 7. Ought to be an interesting matchup, Illinois and Eastern Illinois. And then the next weekend, the Illini Classic, Friday night and on Saturday night. Some interesting teams coming this year. Going to see the Ivy League in action with Princeton. Going to see Illinois, Chicago, and we're going to see a team out of the Southwest of Baylor.
Illinois, Chicago was into the Big Ten today, Dick. They played Michigan. And the score was 120-something to 80-something. And guard Thompson of Michigan made 8 from three-point range.
Well, Illinois led it to half, 53-44, and they expanded that lead, as we had mentioned, to as much as 19 points during the second half. And the Panthers have scrapped back into it. They plugged their way right back to trail by only 13 with 7:24 left.
They haven't given up. Their defense is spectacularly impressive in the second half, and there's part of it right there. Charlie Smith blew it away.
Charlie Smith starting to play at both ends of the court.
Then a nice play by Charlie here on D, and look out.
Now you're going to see Pittsburgh now pick them up and all over the court.
This is the first time we've seen full court pressure.
Altenberger, Norman is back in. Gill, Weisinger, and Hamilton. They look for Weisinger and they get it to him.
Well, it's a man-to-man pressure, kind of a token press because everybody's back on the other end of the floor now.
Doug Altenberger bounces it inside to Norman, brings it right back to Altenberger, now to Weisinger. Underneath to Hamilton. Great shot by Lowell Hamilton down inside, his 10th. I'll tell you, when Illinois gets the court spread out, get that good flow of the offense, they get the good shots. That one was a perfect illustration.
Great ball movement that time down the floor.
Gore feeds it across the top of the zone to Aiken. No, Charlie Smith rebounds it. Puts it up and in.
Charlie's got 12 in the second half, 25 for the game. You can't foul, and Illinois' big men have too many fouls.
of stuff on the alley-oop behind, and Kenny Norman counters for Illinois.
Right back in your face, Charles Smith. Boy, what a game. There is some talent on that floor.
Puts it to Aiken down on the side. Underneath. Up for the shot was Gore. He's got 16. 6 minutes to play in the game. 6 minutes to go. Illinois by 13. Hamilton. Outside Altenberger.
Good job. Good job. Set it up again. They're trying to get Norman. He's got it out high now.
Here's Kendall Gill with it on the wing. Back in front to Weisinger.
Shot clock at 15.
Tony Y off now to Norman.
Shot clock at 8.
Shot up and backed away, and a pull out of the air by Lane down to Goodson. Goodson driving, and he's guilty of the charge, and Doug Altenberger, you can credit him with some cagey work there.
There's not a guy in the country, Dick, that takes the charge any better than Doug. Whether Goodson dished it off to the other guy on the wing or kept it himself, Altenberger was going to be in front of it.
So we'll come to the other end of the court. Now they're going to say ball control, and it's going to go out of bounds to Illinois.
Now they're deciding. Bill Herzog of the Big Ten is motioning for free throws, but Illinois is going to have the ball.
It comes into Norman. Kenny, lead pass up to Weisinger. Tries to lob it underneath to Hamilton, and it got hung up in the net.
Charles Smith shoved him. That's what happened.
And Pittsburgh comes the other way with it. Down into the corner to Gore. Underneath to Smith. Boy, they collapse on him. Gore from the side. No. Rebound, Hamilton. Or let's make that Norman. 4 minutes and 50 seconds to play as Kendall Gill pops it from the side. No. And a foul. Charlie Smith.
Boy, that's a big call. That's number 4 on Smith, and it would have been 5 on Hamilton. Smith and Hamilton, and Illinois got the break.
Foul is on number 32, Charles Smith. His fourth.
So Lowell Hamilton will shoot the foul shot. And it'll be a 1-and-1 with just 4 minutes and 48 seconds left in the game, and Illinois 13-point lead.
Lowell Hamilton at the line. 1-and-1.
Hamilton looking for his first free throw of the night. Illinois came into this ball game a 65% free throw shooting team, Dan, and that percentage is going to increase after tonight.
Well, that's bad because
I said too quick, I guess.
Well, they had a terrible second half against Chicago State when the freshmen were in the game and were a little bit shaky. That's why their percentage for the year is so far down. This is a good free throw shooting team.
Under to Smith, back to Aiken.
Pump. Got it.
That's 15 for Aiken. 89-77. Weisinger picks it up. Hamilton has it slapped away. Picked up down court by Aiken. Long lead to Lane. He stuffs it through. It's a 10-point ball game, and the clock shows 4:08 to play. I can tell you, don't go away. It's a long ways from being over.
Crowd on its feet here at Fitzgerald.
Fouls become a very important part of this one. 4 players on the court for Pittsburgh have 4. Illinois has 2 with 4, Norman and Hamilton. Altenberger with it over on the side. Out to Hamilton. Boy, getting a little sloppy with the basketball.
Lowell's having a tough time out front. They're going to have to get somebody else out there to handle the ball.
The shot clock shows 10.
Tony holds up a finger. They need a shot.
It's up there. Smith on the block. Pittsburgh goes away with the basketball. They can cut it now to 8. Gore scoops inside. Smith can't get it. It goes out of bounds to Illinois.
Oh, that's a killer for Pittsburgh.
Paul Evans is up quickly and wants a timeout for his Panthers with just 3:17 to go in the game, and our game is narrowed down to a 10-point spread.
Boy, Gore made a nice little entry pass in there, just a little bit too far for Smith to get to. Well, if Charles gotten it down there, anything might have happened. You might have a 7-point game.
Paul Evans giving instruction right there, Dan Rowan, and he's got to tell them they've got to play better defense. And, I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't pick them up quicker on a full court pressure defense. They waited until about 5 minutes to play in the ball game, and since that time, they've whittled away, and they were up by 7. Illinois was up by about 17 points when they started it, and now it's a 10-point ball game.
Well, they still haven't gone all out. I don't think Paul Evans thinks they can handle Illinois in a full court pressure situation. Here's the pass inside to Hamilton. This is from earlier action. Hamilton having a good game. I think that's the previous Illinois basket. Since then, Pittsburgh has come on. And here's the lob to Kenny Norman. And this is a play that I think they ought to be able to get off a few more times. So much pressure out front by the Pittsburgh defense. And not necessarily to Kenny Norman. Hamilton can take that. Altenberger can take it. Kendall Gill showed in the first half he could take it.
So Weisinger, Hamilton, Norman, Gill, and Altenberger on the court for Illinois. Lane, Gore, Smith, Goodson, and Aiken for Pittsburgh. Altenberger will get the ball in play at the far end of the court. Gets it into Kendall Gill to Altenberger, and now they've got it back into the hands of their field general.
Now they're going to try a little zone trap at half court. Altenberger with it. They beat it nicely.
Driving, Kenny. Traveling is going to be whistled on Norman.
It is. Norman tried to head fake Smith. Charlie didn't buy it, then tried to scoop it up, but shuffled the feet on the third time he faked.
He should have driven to the basket immediately, Danny, who hesitated too long with the basketball. Down on the right side, Aiken. Outside, Goodson. The corner to Gore, under Smith. He'll slam it. Oh, he blew it. Rebound taken away by Lane. He missed it. Next one taken away on the side by Hamilton into the hands of Weisinger.
Oh, what a big trip for Illinois and a tough break for Pittsburgh. Smith, I don't know how he missed that dunk, but he missed it.
2 minutes and 30 seconds to play in the game. Hamilton underneath, and a turnaround is good.
Big hoop for Lowell Hamilton. Turned around, got squared up beautifully, and Illinois is up again by 12.
Here comes Goodson. Down to Aiken on the side. Underneath the Gore, misses the shot. Rebound taken away by Lane, and Illinois really just kind of standing around.
Well, they've gone past it. Guys afraid of picking up 5 fouls. Well, Lane and Gore, everyone's moving down deep, and they're not getting much competition from Illinois.
Less than 2 minutes to play.
To see Illinois run a little clock here. Oh, Smith almost got that foul. Norman traveled again. He did, too. He shuffled his feet. A minute 50 in a 10-point game.
Over the line. That's Goodson with it. The fans are wanting for the three-point try by Aiken, and he was looking for it. He's going to throw it up now. Lane has the ball slapped away. Kendall Gill did a great job as he snuck around behind, and a foul on Lane, and he's gone with 5 fouls.
Once again, your freshman steps into the breach and does the job. Kendall blindsided the guy right there, knocked it away from Jerome Lane, and Jerome reached
the seam coming from the top of your screen, and I'll tell you, just a great effort by Kendall Gill.
And if he can hit the free throws, Illinois is going to be in pretty good shape with a minute 34 to go.
So Kendall Gill going to the line. First time there tonight. On the year, Kendall Gill is 0 for 1.
Kendall Gill shooting 1.
He played his high school basketball at Rich Central.
Lane had 22, by the way. Missed the free throw.
Boy, that one reset the basket. Goodson with it on the right side. Into the corner, Aiken. That's a long one, go. Three-point play by Aiken.
Well, they gave him 3. I don't think he was beyond the line.
Illinois breakaway by Kendall Gill. Missed it. Follow up. Out of bounds. Pittsburgh basketball. 1:14 to go. And Illinois leading by 7. This is going to come right down to the wire, folks.
Well, people who are out of their seats leaving are
Aiken
back
again.
in.
Another three-point try. No. Rebound into the corner. Gore under to Smith. Smith for the shot. Good.
Well, Smith immediately somebody inside. He decked Kendall Gill and no foul. It's a 5-point game with a minute to play.
Pittsburgh wants a timeout. They've narrowed it to 91-86, and I'll tell you, the Panther fans are into the ball game right now, and they ought to be.
These people were out the door 40 seconds ago. They're frozen in the aisles right now.
Illinois was leading by as much as 19 points about 4 minutes ago, and now it's been cut to 5 with exactly 1 minute left. Well, there are the Panther tubas moving around up there. 68-77. That's the attendance, and there's not room for anyone else. In fact, the coach's wife, Mary Henson, is sitting over to our right. We had to get a special chair for her. There was not a seat available.
Now, Illinois is going to go to a ball handling lineup here. Glenn Blackwell's checked in. I'm sure Lowell Hamilton is going to come out.
It's free throw time in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You can bet. Each team in the bonus.
With a minute to play, if Illinois can hit some free throws, they're probably going to win the game. Because even if Pitt comes back with a 3-point shot, they've got 5 points to make up and only a minute to do it. But the Illini are going to have to take care of the ball. They've got Norman in there as their only big guy. Gill, Blackwell, Weisinger, and Doug Altenberger to throw it in.
Let's get it in play. And that is the Kendall Gill has been fouled. It's going to be charged on Goodson, and that's his 4th.
It's a good foul by Pittsburgh. They fouled the right guy. Hamilton now back in for defense. Glenn Blackwell is going to sit down.
So Kendall Gill steps up to the line, and Doug Altenberger, the senior, comes up, gives him a pat on the back. Kendall Gill needs to hit one here. Boy, there's a big free throw for Gill.
Big shot. Only 3 seconds off the clock from when Illinois inbounded it.
92-86 Illinois. And the air ball sound comes back again, trying to haunt Kendall Gill. Quickly it's extinguished. Here comes Goodson back. Score, lobbing it away. Aiken, 3-point try. Killed it. And immediately there's a foul on Pittsburgh's Michael Goodson, and he's gone.
Goodson out. Pittsburgh's playing it right, though, Dick. They fouled. They're down by only 4 points and 46 seconds left. If Illinois misses a free throw, the Panthers have them on the run.
Right now, we're going to pause 5 seconds for station identification. Well, there you see the Pittsburgh coach, Paul Evans, trying to make a decision on the replacement, and he's called on Brooken, replacing Goodson, who has just fouled out. Tony Weisinger will go to the line. There you see Tony, the senior from Peoria, Illinois, with a 1-and-1. So far tonight, he has made 6 of 6 from the line. Tony Weisinger with a big one here. Illinois leads by 4, 46 seconds to play. Well, I don't have to tell you, it's going to be a nail-biting finish as Weisinger gets ready for the bonus.
Big throws, but Pitt still only 2 possessions behind with a 6-point deficit. And Aiken wants to jack it, obviously, from 3-point range.
He lets a long one go.
What a shot! And the Panthers get timeout immediately with 36 seconds left.
Well, another timeout taken as Pittsburgh now within the 3 points of tying up the ball game at 95-92. This is the basketball team, folks, that has averaged 108 points a game. Look at this, and there was a man on him. That was Weisinger. And he has made 3 3-point plays in a row for the Panthers.
He couldn't get that pass off, so he said, what the heck? Jacked it up, and that was a good 26 feet out.
Well, if you like exciting basketball, you're seeing it tonight. The Big Ten battling the Big East. The Fighting Illini against the Panthers of the University of Pittsburgh, and you can't get it any more exciting than this.
95-92.
36 seconds left. Well, Illinois now with players grouped around Lou Henson to our immediate right. Altenberger, Weisinger, Norman. And there you see Paul Evans sending out his troops.
Paul set his defense. Now Illinois is going to get it on the side. I think now they're going to give it to him under the basket.
Blackwell comes into the lineup for Illinois. Gill, Weisinger, Norman, and Altenberger. Hamilton is going to sit down. Altenberger will put the ball in play at the far end of the court. Cooper is in for Pittsburgh.
Got to make sure they get it in.
Not a lot of room down there to throw it in for Altenberger.
Tony Y.
But he gets it into Weisinger and is immediately fouled by Gore, and he's gone.
Well, they don't have any choice but to foul. The shot clock obviously off with only 34 seconds left. Only 2 seconds ticked off the clock.
And Tony Weisinger going up to the line. As Curtis Aiken, the senior from Buffalo, New York, really, with 3 tremendous three-point shots. And I mean, there was no question. They were about 3 feet beyond the 19.9-foot range.
That last one was way out. Way out. I'm surprised he was able to get it from a standing start. They hit nothing but net.
Pat Cavanaugh enters the lineup for Pittsburgh now. He is a 6'2 freshman, Grove City, Pennsylvania. Tony Weisinger. Is that a silencer, folks, or is it not? Lou Henson is claiming they're in the lane too quick as Lou is up here on the side. The bonus for Tony Y.
I'll be watching this time. Cooper in way too soon, but he made it anyway.
97-92. Aiken.
Here's our man.
He missed that one, follows it up, puts it off of the glass, and he's got it.
I'm glad to see him make a two-point shot.
22 seconds to go. Kendall Gill has just been fouled by Cooper.
Cooper made a dive that may have helped them stay in the game. Illinois had 3 on none down here in the other end, and Cooper dived to commit the foul. And he fouled the right guy, the freshman Kendall Gill, back to the free throw line. Well, Kendall is getting the baptism of the fire tonight.
So Kendall Gill at the line. What a moment for this young man.
Lou Henson obviously saying, hey, Tony, I want it in your hands here in the final seconds. And Tony's going to have to stand back in midcourt and watch Kendall try to make these free throws.
Oh, I'll tell you, there was an important free throw for that young man.
He's hit 3 big ones down the stretch, trying to make it 4.
Illinois. Aiken will go for 3 again. And up no good. A rebound coming down to Illinois. And with 8 seconds to go, it is out of bounds to Pittsburgh. Altenberger apparently had the ball, and he came down on that baseline. And it's out of bounds to the Panthers. 8 seconds to play. Pittsburgh down by 5. Aiken from the corner.
Boy, that's just terrible defense by Illinois. Doug Altenberger's going to hang on to it, and it's over.
The game is all over. And Illinois, coming in here, a 3-point underdog, have beaten Pittsburgh 99-97. And we'll be back with more on the Illini Sports Network.
For superior soybean weed control that costs up to $7 per acre less than Lasso or Dual, Sonoland. So flexible you can soil mix it in 1 tillage pass or 2. So weatherproof it works if it rains too much or too little. So effective it controls tough weeds, even helps fight nightshade clear through harvest. And yet it won't carry over to injure next year's corn, milo, or wheat. Yes, soybeans and Sonoland. They're made for each other.
State Farm is there when women need life insurance.
Whether she brings home a paycheck or works full-time at home, nobody does more for a family than a mother does. That's why so many women talk to State Farm agents about life insurance. We listen, and we help make sure that everything a woman wants to do for her kids gets done. I know how she feels. I have a family, too.
Just like a good neighbor,
shack can save your life when the weather turns the coldest. But the best time to stock it is always the hottest. And before you head back down, you head for the mountains. Bush. Head for the beer brewed natural as a mountain stream, for a taste as smooth as its name. Bush. Head for Bush beer. Head for the mountains.
You come back on camera to us, Ed. Well, welcome back to a kind of a quieted out arena here on the campus of the University of Pittsburgh. Dan, a moment ago, was noisy and exciting, and they had all the right in the world to be that way because Illinois has just won a big one, 99-97 over the Pittsburgh Panthers. Doug Altenberger with 26 points, Norman with 24, Aiken had 29 for Pittsburgh, seven three-point plays for Aiken, and for Doug Altenberger, 6 3-point plays, 16 assists for Weisiger. That's a new Illinois record. And we're going to be back with a final comment after these messages.
Where can you find all these automobiles in one place? Monticello. Stroll forward and Mercury is the dealer you can depend on for friendly hometown service and competitive pricing. Take exit 61 off I-72 and you're at Poling Chevrolet, where excellent selection and service will make a believer out of you. And talk about a large selection. How about Buick, Oldsmobile, Pontiac, GMC, Chrysler, Plymouth, and Dodge? They're all at Bill Abbott. These three dealers back the Illini and invite you to friendly Monticello for so many different automobiles all in one place.
To get the most from your corn crop, you need maximum performance from your corn soil insecticide. That's why top growers depend on Counter with its unique Action 3. Counter controls rootworms, wireworms, and other major corn pests 3 ways. With proven contact, systemic, and residual control for consistent control and superior performance, put your money where your crop is. Get Counter with Action 3.
True Value hardware stores make wishes come true with gifts like the Polinex Rescuer Radio for car or home that keeps you informed during emergencies. It's only $26.88. Hard-to-reach places are now easy to clean with a handy Black & Decker Dustbuster Plus cordless vacuum for only $34.99. Save money with a GE desktop charger for rechargeable batteries. You'll earn a $2 mail-in rebate when you buy it for just $14.99 at most True Value hardware stores and home centers.
There are movers and there are shakers. Our movers are specially trained and equipped to handle what you have to move. Shakers are not. If you're moving, don't call a shaker. Call a mover. Call Mayflower.
Call Carter's Moving and Storage in Urbana and Bloomington. Carter's Moving and Storage, your Mayflower agent.
They're 99-97, and of course some important facts tonight. A new record in the assist department for Illinois. Tony Weisiger has eclipsed the record of 15 that Bruce Douglas had set while he was a player at Illinois. 16 for Tony Y tonight. 26 points for Illinois' Doug Altenberger, leading the Illini. 6 3-point baskets with that. And for Pittsburgh, Curtis Aiken had 29 and 7 3-point baskets for that young man. Once again, the final score, you see it there, 99-97, Illinois a victor. For Dan Rowan, this is Dick Martin saying so long from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
From Fitzgerald Fieldhouse in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, this has been Fighting Illini Basketball. Fighting Illini Basketball has been brought to you in part by Busch Beer, the beer with a taste as smooth as its name. By Rich Creamy Swiss Miss Hot Cocoa, the good taste that makes you feel great. By Elanco Products Company, who bring you Treplan and Sonalan for economical, dependable, full-season wheat control and soybeans. By the Illinois State Lottery, yet another benefit of living in the U.S. of A. Play Cash Flow Instant Lottery. And by State Farm, like a good neighbor. State Farm is there whenever an Illinois family wants to know where they stand with insurance.
And by True Value Hardware. More than just a name, it's their way of doing business.
Illinois Sports Network presents Fighting Illini basketball. Tonight, live from the Assembly Hall in Champaign, Illinois, it's the Fighting Illini taking on the Panthers of Eastern Illinois. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there whenever an Illinois family wants to know where they stand with insurance. By Elanco Products Company, who bring you Treflan and Sonolan for economical, dependable, full-season wheat control and soybeans. By the Illinois State Lottery, you could capture millions. Play Lotto. By Busch Beer, the beer with a taste as smooth as its name. And